the weirdest curses in football history. So let's start with the time when Ronaldo's exes literally paid a witch to end his life. It was 2009, and weeks before the curse struck, Ronaldo got a warning, but he brushed it off until his Champions League matchup. Because after being tackled, Ronaldo suffered his career's most devastating injury, and that's when he realized the curse was real. News reports in Spain revealed that Ronaldo had become a victim of a voodoo attack, because a sorcerer who calls himself Pepe came out the shadows, and he explained what happened to Ronaldo wasn't an accident. Pepe said that one of Ronaldo's rich exes literally paid him $40,000 to cast a spell, and to prove he wasn't a fraud, he refused to reverse the curse. He even warned Ronaldo that he'd keep suffering injuries, including one devastating enough to keep him out for 5 months and eventually end his career. Now, are we really surprised a man who calls himself a witch is saying crazy things like that? Nah. So I think they should just throw Pepe's crazy ass in jail, or at least ban him from football games like clubs did to Drake. Cause since 2019, this man's been causing football chaos all from his curse. Just listen. Arsenal, Man City, PSG, they all became victims. And once other clubs found out about the curse, everything Drake was literally banned. See, it all started when Drake went on tour traveling across the UK, because he hopped around more pro athletes than a Kardashian. Paul Pogba, Aubameyang, Sergio Aguero, they all showed up backstage to his concert, and all of them thought, shit, an Instagram post with Drake? I'ma gain so much clout. But little did they know, these pics came with a curse. Every single player who got posted on the gram with Drake suffered a devastating loss. But none of them were worse than Layvin Kurzawa. After this man took a pic with Drake, he literally got his ass beat. PSG's 5-0 loss was their worst L in 10 years. So once the curse broke the news, some players literally took their Drake Instagram post down. AS Roma literally banned their entire club from taking pics with Drake. And things were getting so bad, teams literally tried to summon the Drake curse towards other clubs. Just look at Man U. There's no way tweets like this are allowed. Right? Well, at least Drake's curse only hands out L's. Some curses have players scared to be in FIFA. Some literally kill people. And what if I told you one football curse ruined an entire country? It was Euro 2020, England versus Italy, and a penalty shootout decided who gets crowned champions. What better opportunity to summon spirits and curse the other team? Well, when Italy went up in the shootout 3-2, in came Bukayo Saka with a chance to tie. But Giorgio Chiellini wasn't willing to leave it up to fate, and he unleashed a curse. All because of that, Italy became champions. But during that kick, what did Giorgio say? Well, he summoned a spirit named Kirikoucho. See, Kirikoucho was known to be a die-hard football fan in the 80s, and he used to show up to Argentinian club training sessions. But every single time he came around, players suffered mysterious injuries. At first, the club thought it was a coincidence, until it kept happening. But instead of banning Kirikoucho, the Argentinian coach actually figured out a master plan and used Kirikoucho's mysterious ability to the club's advantage. From that point on, Kirikoucho was paid to visit rival club training sessions and even welcome visiting teams to their Argentinian stadium, just for a chance other teams suffered tragedies. And well, after the club put Plan Kirikoucho into effect, that year, the club lost only one game and even won the 1982 Argentine title. But one loss? Like, how could that happen? Well, guess what? That one loss came from the only game Kirikoucho was a no-show. So once other clubs heard about this, the word Kirikoucho became a tradition to use before and during games to jinx opposing players. And here in 2021, Chiellini literally confirmed to the world that he cursed England when he yelled Kirikoucho before Saka took the penalty kick. But at least the Kirikoucho curse ain't killing people like the Aaron Ramsey curse. Because in 2009, the world started being haunted, and it was all Aaron Ramsey's fault. Nobody could have predicted a struggling football player had enough power to change the world. But as the years went on and Ramsey stepped up his game, he subscribed to KickFlix, got more playing time, scored more goals. But what followed him as he became a better player literally cost people their lives. People started realizing there was a direct correlation to Ramsey scoring goals and celebrities dying. But it wasn't just once or twice. Over 20 goals were followed by a viral death. So once Twitter got a hold of this story, it literally got Ramsey's career turned into memes. Just look at these. The entire world actually believed Ramsey was causing a worldwide controversy. And some were even fearing Aaron Ramsey had the power to end mankind. So some fans started a petition for Ramsey to literally quit football. But it wasn't effective. And here in 2021, Ramsey's still going, so the body bags keep piling up. But at least people ain't living every day in fear, like victims of the FIFA curse. I mean, there's actually a secret behind why Ronaldo and Neymar became cover athletes, but right before their seasons were taken off the cover. It's all because of the curse that's been wreaking havoc since the 90s. Over the last few years, it's become undeniable that football has a huge problem. Because in 2016, Marco Reus was becoming one of Europe's most dangerous attackers. So when votes were casted by over 3 million fans worldwide to decide on FIFA 17's cover, it was no surprise Reus came out victorious. And now being in the prime of his career, I mean, what could go wrong? Well, that year, Reus's career took a turn for the worse, lasting just 24 games before rupturing a ligament. Now at this point, there were already rumors of a curse. I mean, we'd seen it with Madden and 2K, but EA needed indefinite proof. So before announcing their next cover, they had to dig deep and find the perfect candidate. And there was one player completely dominating football for 12 straight years with record-breaking seasons. So if there was anybody who could put a curse to shame, it was him. And EA announced the cover athlete of FIFA 18, Cristiano Ronaldo. But that's when it happened. Out of nowhere, Ronaldo's entire life changed. He went from having the best seasons of his career playing with Real Madrid to shocking the world with a transfer to Juventus. This was completely out of Ronaldo's character, but EA wanted to see how this played out. It was a weird move, but Ronaldo's game didn't slip. So maybe the curse was just something everybody was imagining, or Ronaldo was the answer. And that's why coming into the next year, EA gave Ronaldo another opportunity to be their cover athlete. But that's when the curse stopped playing. Out of nowhere, Ronaldo was mysteriously hit with a career-halting scandal, something that not many athletes can get out of. So EA panicked, and they immediately went to the drawing board, redesigning their cover, because they were getting suspicious, and if Ronaldo was being affected, they just had to mix it up. So they replaced Ronaldo with a three-way, just to see what would happen with a never-before-seen version of the game. But this curse wasn't gonna fold. It must have heard Neymar was on the rise, because not long after, it stunned his career like never before. He suffered an ankle injury and was forced to miss the Copa America, so things were getting sketchy, but still, EA wasn't convinced. They just had to find out the truth, and even though things could end in a heartbreak, they wanted to give Neymar another chance, but this time by himself. So they announced Neymar as FIFA 19's cover athlete, praying for a miracle that this tragedy could be stopped. And EA had hope because Neymar had become one of football's most dominant forwards. So for him to not bounce back, it just wouldn't make any sense. Well, not long after announcing him as the cover athlete, Neymar didn't even make it to a point where he could try and stop the curse. He, just like Ronaldo, was mysteriously hit with a legal battle, and his career and life were literally being turned upside down. So EA had to think fast and make another change. And they turned to another star in the making who was not only dominating football, he just got transferred to the club of his dreams. So the next cover athlete was Eden Hazard. Because out of his past 9 seasons, Hazard played 8 of them at a high level. That's almost 90%. So for things to miraculously change, the curse would have to be real. And guess what? Immediately after being named cover athlete, he suffered an injury so bad, he wasn't only forced to miss the majority of the year, he himself claimed it was his worst season ever. And since that announcement, for 3 straight years, his career's literally fallen into a black hole. So at this point, FIFA damn near needed a superhero to save him from this curse. But this ain't the movies. Like, there's no Spider-Man, Batman, or Avengers just running around football fields. But as stupid of an idea as that was, it made EA realize there was one final football player who could fill that role. A man who was born for this opportunity. I mean, he even looked like a superhero. And it's literally the reason his fans and teammates turned him into a meme. Who else but a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle himself? PSG's one and only Mbappe was named FIFA 21's cover athlete. So it was time to end this curse once and for all. Literally just a few days after becoming the new cover, Mbappe suffered the worst injury of his entire career. And it proved that this curse ain't f***ing around. Because at this point, if Mbappe couldn't save the future of football, who could? Well, ironically, that's exactly what EA thought. So here in 2021, they just had to give Mbappe another chance to put this curse to bed. And they named him FIFA 22's cover athlete. But just keep in mind, the second time a player gets a crack at the cover, it always turns out way worse than the first time. And there's already rumors of Mbappe being transferred next year, so I have a bad feeling that the curse is gonna strike again. But see, curses like this aren't the only things football's been keeping secret. Like for example, Ronaldo's been facing jail time, going through addictions, and might literally get kicked out of football to join the NBA. And I know you want to hear more about that, so click this video right here.